Do me a favor before this gets started. Let me know down below how you found this and if it was something that you sought out. Did you have to prove your age? Any of those things helps me because this is something of a re-upload, a retweak, as prior versions of this video were age blocked in different parts of the world. I'm just trying to figure out how you got here and was it voluntary? Hello one, hello all, welcome to this edition of Who Would Like That? Under the banner of Savage Cinema, I come to you as always as Charles, otherwise known as CPO or CP, or a number of other names. So I have to buy time before I give you the title of this movie for YouTube reasons, and I don't know how to get around it. I might be bleeping this, but can't get around the title. It's Baise-moi, which in English literally means fuck me. Oh, what an apt title. Although I've been told and corrected in previous incarnations of this video that it actually translates to a popular Nirvana song, a four-letter R word, me. I don't know why they would title it Rope Me, but let's get to the nitty-gritty. Baise-moi, which literally translates to fuck me in French, is not at all controversial. It is a crime thriller from the year 2000, shot on digital in that late 90s, early 2000s revolution of shooting things on digital that just look atrocious now. You can't upscale these movies, but that's besides the point. I don't know why upscaling any of this would make it at all better. It fits what we've covered in this series before from France. So yeah, it's a French extremist movie. It goes hard. It goes too hard. And it does things in the sink when it's done. It may feel tame by the standards of this series, which is so weird saying that, but it certainly fits. It belongs. I would say it's strong for your average moviegoer. So strong, it got banned in multiple countries. Good job. Too pornographic for general release, too violent to be sold as porn. That's a new one. When the porn industry says, why don't you clean it up, buddy? That's saying something. So Baise-moi lives in this weird limbo between too violent and too pornographic. And it is, sure, it's both. It follows two women who are both on the run, who join forces in some sort of Thelma and Louise meets natural born killers kind of thing. Except instead of being driven by a broken relationship, it's triggered by, well, YouTube doesn't like me saying that word. Apparently you guys don't like when I say struggle snuggle. George?
An unwilling sperm recipient.
Manu and Nadine, played by porn stars turned actors, Raffaella Anderson and Karen Lancome, credited here as Karen Bach, form a chaotic bond. They're fully aware of their descent into crime, flaunting both firearms and absolutely terrible one-liners before they kill people. So you get killed before you get killed. And not like in the comedy way, like, how did you do on that stand-up set? I killed. It's the negative version in both instances. The movie opens with this orange-tinted warning shot, so it has something in common with The Godfather. And shortly after, Manu and her friend are struggle snuggled in a car park. That's a parking lot for the Americans. Manu's reaction? She couldn't care less. And that lack of emotional response is what's unsettling to her attackers. And hey, in case it was important to you, if you're taking notes, yes, most of the sexual intercourse in this film is unsimulated. If you don't know what that means, look it up. Pause the video and then look it up. Don't do this at work. Although, if you're watching this video already and you're at work, I'm kind of curious what you do for a living. Anderson and Bach came from the adult film world, and it shows. We get really graphic scenes, including one with Nadine's PVC panties in glorious shaky handheld on digital. Very motion of the ocean. Very art house meets bad decisions. Manu's brother finds out what happened and accuses her of liking it, so she shoots him. As you do. Nadine strangles her roommate. Also, as you do. Their respective murders send them on the run. When they meet at a train station with no trains in sight, Manu casually offers Nadine a ride. They bond over shared trauma and indifference, then decide to shoot a woman at an ATM for thrills, like a girls' weekend. Slay. Did I do that right? They pick up two guys and have sex in the same room, watching each other like it's competition. And they're not shy. I mean, they are sex workers after all. Next stop, a gun store. They grab weapons, kill the owner, and complain that their quips aren't snappy enough. Manu is especially upset that her one-liners aren't landing. I don't know if the fear would play into any of this. And man, only in America can you get movies like this where you go to a gun store. Oh, wait. Then we get to a scene where she lets her menstrual blood drip into a sink and says, "It makes me want to fuck." Yeah, this is a real date night film. Although I imagine it is a date night movie for some people. No judgment, except from YouTube, apparently. They kill a guy for wanting to wear a condom. You heard that right. They specifically say safe sex is unacceptable. Nadine starts posing with a gun and a laser sight, fully leaning into the sexy anarchy image that they're crafting for themselves. But now they're on wanted posters, which kind of ruins the vibe. More murders, more sex. More pantyhose ripping. Honestly, where are they getting all these tights? These things aren't cheap. They run into a cop at a traffic stop, kill him, and another woman covered in blood flees with them. The new friend hides them in her home, and her brother tells them, "For fugitives, you're pretty laid back." And they reply with, "It's because we lack imagination." Icons. That they kill an architect because, well, I guess he inspired them too much. Then comes a BDSM club massacre. I'm surprised that's not the title of actually, it probably is a title of something. I would imagine a Skinamax movie at the very least. Let me not go any further. A man tells Manu, "This is a fuck club, not a mosque." So they shoot 8 people. This is pre-9/11, before you do any of that thought process. One guy gets shot in the anus. Yep. You heard it. A guy got a pew-pew in his poo-poo. Interpret that however you like. Manu eventually gets recognized and gets shot. Nadine burns her body by a lake, but is arrested before she can pull the trigger. Very French indeed. Yeah, and that's it. Fin. The film is based on a novel by Virginie Despentes. I'm so sorry. She wrote it after working as a prostitute and surviving her own assault. Her raw, aggressive approach to femininity carries throughout the film. Shot in a raw digital format, using only natural light at times. The film feels and oftentimes is handheld, underproduced, and grimy. It's over grimy if it's anything. Critics were divided on this film. Some called it gritty, some called it amateur hour. Marketing for this movie leaned into the shocking art film angle, with lots of prestigious-sounding critics and awards shown on these posters. Minus the film title, of course, because it couldn't be shown in certain parts of the world. Because it couldn't legally appear on buses, you see. Critics hated it. Some said the plot meandered, the violence looked cheap, and the sex scenes were too cartoonish. Again, unsimulated. Cartoonish, yet unsimulated, so I don't know what that means. A common question that came up was, if the two women hate men so much, why didn't they get together with each other? That is the most important thing to some people? Man, I am vanilla. That is one controversy that the film never touches. Lesbianism. Perhaps the filmmakers didn't want to go that far, or maybe the characters are just too broken to love at all. I don't know. But the acting is surprisingly solid. Karen Bach's performance most especially earned praise for the depth she brought to Nadine. Censorship and legacy. Different countries had different reactions to this film. The UK had a cut version with an 18 rating. The uncut version is only available in sex shops. I guess it wasn't too violent after all. In the USA, it was unrated. Most people ignored it anyway because subtitles. I think it's funny that even in films that feature porn, nudity, sex, Americans won't watch it because why would you want to look at words? Who's looking at the words when you're... Never mind. France is the most interesting, especially considering this is the country where the film came from. Initially, it was rated a 16, and then it was just banned due to public outrage. Eventually, it was re-released as an X and then brought down to an 18. What a wild journey this film took in its home country. In New Zealand, it was released to theaters, but banned prior to being released for home video. In Australia, it was a full ban, although a TV edit aired around a decade later, right alongside Cannibal Holocaust. Who would like that alum? And despite all of the content, nobody's career was ruined. Despentes went on to make documentaries and memoirs about feminism and sex work. Anderson ended up acting in more mainstream roles. Bach left the adult film world behind, but tragically took her own life in 2005 at the age of 32. That in itself says more than I would think this film does about how much sex work needs to be discussed at what it does for mental health, or how it's on the journey somehow. This film is considered a cornerstone of New French Extremity, a genre full of gore, explicit sex, psychological torment, and a touch of art house flair. I'm sure we've covered at least one film in each category so far in this series. And in this instance, the flair comes with nihilism. Manu and Nadine already know that their lives are screwed, and they're just riding the wave until it crashes. Again, it's a much heavier variation on something like Thelma and Louise or Natural Born Killers, if not a blend of the two. The American audience that refuses to read this should be familiar with how this thing plays out without it being so extreme. To the scorecard, we get drug use, nudity, graphic sex, menstrual blood, which I think is a new one for this series, and slurs of many flavors. It's got everything except restraint. So who would like this? In a sincere tone, if you survived Irreversible or made it through Salo without puking, you might be fine. If you enjoy women dancing in their underwear while shaking guns around like it's some sort of feminist Grand Theft Auto, this might be your jam. Also, if you liked the Korean film Bedeviled or the American Natural Born Killers, you'll probably find familiar DNA here. So if you've seen it, what did you think? Actually, I've ruined it for you. I spoiled the whole thing. Have you seen the film? Did you make it all the way through? Was it too much? What other movies does this remind you of? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, please smash that like button. If you'd like to see more in this series, subscribe. And if you're interested in helping fund future projects, there's a Patreon link down below. Special thanks to those patrons. You made this happen. I don't know if that's a thank you so much as a why are you doing this to me? Make sure to subscribe to the Savage Cinema channel for future reference. Content like this will be there in a more solid basis. And finally, remember to wash your face, your hands, your genitalia, especially if you watch this movie. And then ask yourself, who would like that?